Hello and welcome to Tyranny. Right, I have off camera reorganized our inventory and sold all sorts of stuff, which means we now have monies. Or rings rather. Right, do we actually have anything we want to buy from you? I don't think I want to buy any of these weapons. Masterwork, you actually have some. Anyway, I think I'll just leave it as is. Right, so anything else we need to do here? I think I just need to part and just rest once, and then we'll go and fight the invading army. Rest. We should get some modifiers for our rest here. Alright. And then the journal says we need to defeat the invaders at Vendrian's Well. Let's go try do that. They are disfavored. Barrick, don't know if it's fine or not if we bring him along, but he is along right now. We didn't get a destination, we only had to go and fight them off, and that's the only option apparently. Right there, courtyard. Okay, there's people burning because we put everything on fire. Some of them are running away. But not all. A cadre of disfavored warriors, their armor stained with soot and smoke, cautiously approach, led by Severus, now wearing the regalia of the Iron Guard. Impossible. I've seen the blood chanters call upon fire, but this intensity, this heat, how have you channeled the fires of Kairos? Severus glances back, taking stock of the troops that haven't retreated into smoke. The faint of heart may fear your mystic fire, but I was there when the burning library was set ablaze, and it will take more than a hapless intimidation of Kairos conflagrations to scare me. Alright. Insufficient reputation. Awaiting Severus' signal to charge, the soldiers start charging. Graven Ash protects, he claps their weapons against the shields in challenge. Athletics, brandish your weapon menacingly. I wonder which of you will scream the loudest before dying. Or lore, force, did you not hear me proclaim the edict? Either I cast the edict by myself, or I did so with the Overlord's blessing. Think that through very carefully. I think we'll go with the lore one. No, that's the talk of a delusional child. On top of your other crimes, you now blasphemous Kairos, liking yourself to his power. Do not make us laugh. Severus turns to his soldiers, looking to see who shares in this laughter. He guffles flat when he sees his warriors scuffle nervously in silence, their weapons trembling. Enough prattle, advance, slay this aberration of justice, and bring the glory to Graven Ash. Severus gives the signal to attack and rushes forward with a roar. Okay, so we are fighting. How many are there? There are 5 of them. Ironwalkers, Earthshakers, Severus, Stone Shield, and Earthshaker. Let's go for Earthshaker first. Actually, we're controlling us. When that's done, we'll call down this blood thing here. Go. Some damage has been dealt. This guy is actually more damaged. Let's concentrate on them. We're apparently fighting them already anyway. Unraveling some mines, that will hit more than one. You, Barrick, needs to heal up. Now he's also stunned here. this guy, so let's go. Down he went, it looks like. And here we can hit 3 people potentially.
This weapon isn't tight.
Okay, we actually took him out, so
Really worthless.
yeah, okay. We can hit both actually. Oh, more people coming in from up here, alright. It's gonna be an elongated fight, I guess. More healing. One guy down there. Concussive bolt.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Right, let's use this one.
Ready?
Alright, we are almost down with those 2 guys also. We can hit both of them, it looks like. Fight looks to be over. Fifth Eye, look at the Iron Pigs bleed, shorting with glee. Fifth Eye spin his spear, splattering blood in a wide arc. Yeah, but I'm gonna fight you at some point, I'm sure I am. Our foe is in retreat, their vanguard is broken, the rest of the forces are too afraid of this glorious funeral pyre we have created. He jabs his spear into the corpse of a nearby disfavored. Such a shame, I was starting to almost enjoy the smell of cooked disfavored. We have the courtyard under control, leave the cleanup duty to me and my gang. Make haste to the top of the spire, no doubt you'll want a bird's eye view of the disfavors turning tail and running in shame. Okay, return to the mountain spire, it says. That's sort of easy because it's right here. And there we go. Wait, we're looting first. Ah, darn it. The seal and feather of the disfavored brought the battle evaporate in the face of your edict, and the ease which you dispatched the leader, your overwhelming display of power, sends panic and terror rippling through the enemy's rank. The survivors carry with them rumors that defy belief. The tears has another archon, one showing the power of Kairos, the power to cast edicts. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misfortune, one fact remains consistent: the Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. Sweat stings your eyes as your edict baits your spire in oppressive heat. Its weight felt everywhere. The valley, slowly the temperature wanes, turning from nearly unbearable to almost tolerable. Over the next few days, the extreme heat eventually dissipates as your edict ends, releasing Vendrian's wells from its molten grasp. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps from the safety of your spire. No sooner you get this started than Kallio, the Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. Fatebinder Kallio. I keep hearing about this little spire you are calling your own, nodding with a smirk. Fatebinder Kallio peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. What did I do to earn a visit from a Fatebinder? Do you have an edict to proclaim against me? Nice to see you, but how did you get up here? Let me guess, you're here to investigate what just happened. Okay, let's go with number 1 here. A fair guess. I was expecting Tunon to hand me a scroll case with Kyrus' seal on it. She shakes her head with a chuckle. After what you just pulled, I would have wagered my last ring that Kyrus would cast a very selective edict against you, but alas, the Overlord has other plans in mind. No one is entirely sure what to make of you these days, Conrad. They all say you spoke an edict of fire, not a proclamation of edict of Kyrus, but your own edict of fire, your own mystic conflagration. Lantry, you're no mere fatebinder, that much we can all be certain. You proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edict, perhaps one too many times. If I'd known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Tyranny that the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder, proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. It will come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still can find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding and unleash something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, that is the work of an Archon. Beast Woman will follow Alpha from here to ends of Tiersland, and farther still will Paw prowl deep into north, hunting armies of Kyrus at Alpha's side. Together, Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter whole of Prima's tribe. Don't have any idea how you're able to do this, but this isn't power that any scholarly can wield. It is something else. You're not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it out of a book. You're more like an Archon where it just comes naturally. Fatebinders, Callio, she shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had to touch the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? I generally didn't know I had it in me, and now that I have this power, others will fear me for good reason. I'm still not sure the power is entirely my own or what it all means. You've known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise. I so assume this will mean you're addressing me as Overlord now, right? No, I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. You didn't know if you could work, and you decided to play with the arcane equivalent of a mountain tipping over. My confidence in you swells, Fatebinder. Lantry, it's only natural to have doubted yourself. The edicts have always been the measure of Kyrus, and Kyrus alone. Anyone claiming to be able to cast an edict would be presumably crazy, and yet a sane man watching what you just did would see the power of the Overlord in your voice. Curious, she taps her chin though, looking at you head to toe. Suppose you have no reason to play the fool. I'd say, however, that it is you who came into this power. I know that you are drawn attention to the Overlord, so congratulations, I think. I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Callio clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kyrus has decreed 2 things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one and only one Archon is fit to rule the Tiers, and to that end the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon to inherit the Tiers. So the Overlord wants even more civil war. Have the Archons been informed of this yet? So I was just given permission to kill or subjugate the Archons. Right. So the Overlord wants even more civil war. Oh, it gets better than that. With a smile, she tosses a small bit of metal your way, and when it is in your hand, you recognize it as a small brooches in style of Archon's insignia. Kyrus has decreed that you are the newest Archon. Fatebinder Callio bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. Her face becomes a smiling a beaming smile. See, this is why I try to avoid getting Kyrus' attention. What if we don't fight? Why do we not ignore this order? And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict. Wait, now I'm an Archon. I issued an edict. I think I mean makes me more than an Archon. Go number 2 here. Correct. There's no edict backing this order. She smiles a toothy grin. Such encouragements hardly seem necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded Kairos' peace. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Oh joy. Kairos knows, rightly so, that enmities and new and old will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. The Overlords need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Kalios shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do or die edict? I've heard enough as to know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. The voices of the Marat know what a great deal of reason to fear me. This order will complicate our alliance. What of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Bled and Mark think of this? Let them fight tonight. I'm safe up here in my spire. No, I'm not safe up here in my spire. Have you heard what they think of this? Number 3 here. As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of a pumice, but Bledenmark seemed almost giddy. I think the old shadow is already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Bledenmark would hear of this order and promptly stab Tunon, but no. It would seem the voices of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. She clears her throat, her voice growing somber. You have to deal with them too. I fear greatly for how this will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Bledenmark too proud to accept you as his better. She nods quietly for a long moment. There is no way this ends well for some of us. Okay, voices of Marat and the alliance thing. Oh, I'm sure you two have a lovely little discussion ahead of you, and I think we both know he'll be aiming to convince you to submit and eager to use you to kill the other Archons, I'll bet. Alright, I've heard enough. I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend my will or die. I'll let them fight it out. I'm safe up here in my spire. No. I think I'm more troubled by this sudden promotion to Archon. Let's go with that. By definition, an Archon is someone who generates magic from themselves and does not channel the power of others. Since I assume you cast that edict without reading the prepared words of Kairos, otherwise, why the fuss? Archon isn't fully incorrect for what you are either, but I would agree the power is far beyond the mastery of shadows or ice, or taking over trees or whatever other powers Archons have shown throughout the ages. Consider for a second the greater mystery is not why you are being considered for an Archon, is why you are being allowed the chance to live. Kalir shrugs. All I know is that the Overlord rarely improvises. Okay. So I'm to be the Archon of Edicts. Not exactly just Archon for now, a bit unorthodox, but that is all the information I received. Rugulas insisted we should call you Archon of the Tears, at least in any case we might be overheard, since Archon of Edicts could come like a degradation of the Overlord. Lantry, you realize this makes a problem for me, right? My hand just writes Fatebinder Conrad out of habit. The effort will take to refrain myself from writing Archon. I'm not sure I have years left in me. Right. Why do you think Kairos would want us Archons to fight? Because Ash and Arat work together like water and oil, so letting them each rule half of the tiers is an exercise in bad planning, because there's no land left to conquer after the tiers, and Kairos never needs fewer generals. Kalir shrugs with a rugged smile face. Tunon is not here, so I don't mind pointing out that Kairos isn't exactly a loving ruler, and the Archons are disposable pawns, not beloved subjects. The lands has been conquered, why not dispose of the conquerors? Yeah, divide and conquer type thingy. Well, this is conquer and divide. I would further speculate that Kairos hates all of the Archons equally, and so instead of nominating all but one for destruction, the Overlord is willing to let the strongest earn the right to exist. Alright. Do I finally meet Kairos? Probably not. Not sure about meeting the Overlord, but I assume yes, that'll happen in good time. And while you might be jesting, this calling order comes with the implied price of rulership over the tiers. So, if you want it, fight for it. Alpha becomes newest Archons, is so revered by humans, has earned new title of strength. But I didn't ask to become an Archon, doesn't really matter, does it? And I didn't ask to be a Fatebinder. Kaelir shrugs, pointing to herself, but I made it look easy. I don't think anyone asks to be an Archon. If anything, those who try to wear the title without Kairos' blessing rarely survive to be remembered. That is true. I don't think Kairos decides who has the power to be an Archon, but Kairos is certainly selective of those who get the title. My teacher, Occulted Jade, Archon of the Tides, never bowed to Kairos. Her power was her own, and she claimed the title of Archon because, well, when she was younger, the Overlord were just a distant tale, so wearing the title didn't arouse conflict. I don't think the Overlord gives anyone power in any direct sense. If anything, I bet Kairos would rather all of us were mumbling idiots, be void of magic, and it would be easier to control that way. But Kairos can give and take titles, and titles changes how people see you, how they view your authority, or how big a threat they perceive you to be. And considering your promotion came along with the order for the Archons to kill each other, it sure seems like this part of the promotion, part test. The other Archon kill you, Kairos needn't worry about whatever you're becoming, and if you're becoming something useful, Kairos seems happy to use you to kill the other Archons. I've heard enough, I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. Thank you for delivering your message, that will be all. I think we'll go down. First step in deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons, Kallio offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle, knowing that when you come for Blood and Mark and Tunon, I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. Siren, let's get one thing clear. I want no part of this little contest, Fatebinder. Sorry, Archon. I bow to you. The rest of you madmen can fight over the rule of this mountainous shithole. I want no part of this little contest, Fatebinder. Sorry, Archon. I bow to you. The rest of the madmen can fight over this. Okay. I accept. Thank you, I guess. Siren bows with a grateful sweep over arms and crusty. I just don't let the rat get away with a bat of an eye, lashes, and a polite surrender. Fatebinder, a question me and the other binders have been asking. Can you do this again? Nunoval believes in you. Another who shall remain nameless takes more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand far up your ass and he can pop it your mouth and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me, I think you have it in you, or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. I think Raymond Ash and his legion might enjoy an edict on his fortress of Ironheath in the Blade Grave. Right, now they mention it, curiosity demands me try. Right, now I'm certain I have the power to cast another edict, but I don't want to play recklessly with this power. Let's go with that one. Lost fear with Ebb. That sounds remarkably wise. Ebb lets out a long sigh. I think you should use this power to stop your foes, but as you grow in power, your edicts might remain longer. It would be a shame to leave an arcane disaster that haunts us long after the problem is solved. Consider the terrible damage you'll inflict if you screw up what you're doing. I can't blame you for being cautious. This isn't the only spire that has awakened, for lack of a better word, to your presence, right? Correct, there are other spires that I call my own. Old Wolf's Breach is now unlocked on the world map, alright? Consider a trip to the Blade Grave, or Stalwart as this used to be called. That is where the Ocean Spire is located. As far as I know, you haven't claimed it, neither has anyone else, yet. Granat, Callio begins to make her way to exit. When you rule Terratus, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we're clear, you did just issue an edict, right? Lantry taps his quill on his tongue, unsure of what next to write. First you cast an edict, then is full on war with the Archons. This whole chapter of the Chronicle is reading like fiction. So Kyrus has ordered all the Archons to fight it out until the strongest remain. I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. Yeah, that is your way, that is true. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrett's helmet, devoid of any concrete words. Alpha birthed on words of power like human. Prima called Kairos. It's better mystic than Broodmother to kills in shadows, than Stonestalkers, 100 blood, than beast from an Archon slaughtered by Mark of Shadows. She snorts and grins savagely. Kills in shadow knew Alpha was most powerful human in whole Tyr's lands. A curved claw taps the side of her snout. Nose was not wrong. One last thing. Hesitating before she leaves, Callio taps on the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with a self-deprecating scroll. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summons from Bled and Mark, Tunan's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparation. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. And she's heading out. Iron Heath is now unlocked on the world map. Fifth Eye, Archon Fatebinder. The Fifth Eye dispels his words like a cloud of gnats. Whatever you call yourself, our agents have infiltrated the outskirts of Iron Heath. Ash and his troops are exposed as raw nerve. Before you make your final assault, the voices of Narath wants to discuss that stunt you pulled. Yes, people are beginning to talk, and the Archon doesn't want there to be any misunderstandings. You're to meet the Archon at Cacophony before we hurl our forces against Iron Heath. I know your warlike ways compel you to do otherwise, but we really must insist. Very well, we'll meet him at Cacophony. Trembling with laughter, the Fifth Eye points at you. Delightful Archon, he knows already. I will keep your tempers as controlled. Burn here if venturing well. Please send the Archon my regards. On Fatebinder, his piercing tongue subsides, for a moment sounding almost normal. Remember who you're going to meet. The Archon of Secrets loves nothing more than a challenge, but he also loves to win. He tilts his head to the side of confusion, and then shrugs a casual manner. The Fifth Eye waves you off with an enthusiastic flap of his fingers. Quest completed. Trial of Archons. Right, all sorts of stuff happening here. Quest updated. Find a way to the Ocean Spire in the Blade Grave. And another quest upgrade, I guess. Quest completed. Standing tall. And what's next? New quest. Final Judgment. Travel to the Bastard City. And received a missive from Bled and Mark. Ah, that's this thing over here, right? and strike at Hearth. So we need to speak with the voices of Narat. Alright, those are all these. Travel to Tuna's court and here. To set trial for your actions against the tears. Okay. Anyway, I will take a break here. Thank you very much for watching.